Thanks for joining us, Matt. Welcome, it's Matt Goss. Woohoo!
Hey. Thank you for having me, my friend.
I'm doing all right. We've got a massive crowd outside in the studio right now who are in the streets in the freezing cold, and we're in the nice warmth of the studio.
But they look very stylish. They've got nice coats and
they have.
Rosy cheeks.
And if you notice, they're wearing smiles.
They are wearing smiles. I like that. Wearing smiles. That's a good name for a brand, Wearing Smiles.
It is actually, and a great name for an album. So I'll take the credit on that one.
Okay.
We've also got in the studio. You are?
I'm Elizabeth.
And?
Cheryl.
Okay. And they are going to be asking you questions. First, before we ask you questions, we want their experiences of how they know you and also how they have become to be super fans and brossettes. So we'll start with Elizabeth first. Elizabeth, tell us the stories of your experiences with Matt.
So I've been a Bros fan since you came out, right at the very beginning. Didn't meet you, went to see you in Glasgow for the Push tour, the original one, right back at the beginning with my best friend on the bus to Glasgow. Didn't meet you for years, always thought I was going to marry you. Told everybody I was going to marry you in the future. You were my soulmate. We've had lots of coincidences, but didn't meet you until 20 years ago this year. I met you here in York at the Grand Opera House.
Oh, weird.
You saw me in the crowd, and I'd won a meet and greet then. And we had a hug, and when we separated, your earring had got caught in my hair.
Really?
Yeah. And as we pulled apart, your earring fell out, and it fell on the floor, and the two of us were rooting round on the floor looking for your earring.
Really? Well, it's 20 years ago I had an earring.
20 years ago.
Wow.
And my sister brought in this wallpaper roll that I'd made for you when I was 14, and it had I Love You, Matt written on the full wallpaper roll. And on the other side, it was all poems and drawings.
It was completely covered, wasn't it? I do remember that. I do remember that. It was like completely it was completely covered.
It was completely covered.
That's brilliant. Let's move on to Cheryl. You've got some certain circumstances, haven't you, that you've come across with Matt before.
So, Matt, you know Bev?
Yeah, I do. Of course, yeah. Cheeky Bev.
Yeah. So, me, Bev and Lou. Oh, what have we done?
What have you done? Sounds really ominous now.
we stopped traffic on Regent Street. I think you were at the Savoy.
Right.
And so we were driving down Regent Street. Your driver took a wrong turn in. Bev was driving our car. Took a wrong turn in. Your driver backed up traffic on Regent Street, and then Bev doubly backed traffic up because you'd gone wrong, we went wrong, and the whole of Regent Street just came to a standstill.
Well, we've caused standstills everywhere.
She's responsible entirely for that.
I mean, we've caused one or two standstills across not just in Britain, across the world, but I remember we were in Oxford Street and there were 12,000 people outside HMV, and they actually ripped the car door off of our car, and my press officer Joe Donnelly wore my jacket, and everyone went for the red jacket, and then I went down in a meat wagon in a police car at 90 miles an hour down Oxford Street. So it definitely, we've had I think that's the thing with Bros and my career, is that there's a much more rebellious side to our life than people realise. These guys never say that they're getting old. They just are full of youth, and new people come in, and it's very inclusive, but there's a kind of a cheeky rebellion about people that have followed me over the years, and I love to see it, because I always wonder if it's I just feel like it's just very, very uplifting for me, because a lot of the guys look the same to me. It's insane. It's just really, there's a beauty about the people that I've met, and these guys outside now, I love them with all my heart.
Well, do you know what? We saw the humility in you, just going out there and hugging your adoring fans, and it's the time you've got for them as well. That's the main thing.
I mean, they're cheeky, they're gorgeous, they're fun. Yeah, one of them saying to point at the mouth in a little bit crazy, but they know it, and they're just. But the thing is, it's up to us if we decide to get old and go, oh no, I'm too old for this now. This really is a journey, and they've come to see me in Vegas. They've come all over the world. We've been, have you been to Vegas?
You cancelled.
Well, I was there for 11 years. You should have chosen another week.
How rude.
How rude. Let's move on to some questions then. Elizabeth, let's have question number 1 from yourself.
Okay, well, following through from the diamond earring and being caught, that was a moment that I've been like really building myself up for over the years meeting you. So I was just wondering if you've ever had an embarrassing incident happen with somebody that you've looked up to, some famous person that you've always wanted to meet, and something slightly embarrassing.
I sound really boring. I wish I had an embarrassing moment with another celebrity that I admired. I mean, I was lucky enough to meet Stevie Wonder, and he was lovely to me. I met him at Motown Records in New York, and he was lovely. People like Michael Jackson, who wanted us to... I think one of my biggest regrets is that Michael Jackson asked us to open for him at Wembley Stadium, and our management said no because we were playing Wembley Stadium. And I just wish we'd done that show, because we could have done it 2 nights. You know, I don't mind opening for Michael, but it would have been amazing. Meeting Princess Diana made me blush. She just had a way about her. Hanging out with the Rolling Stones in Kansas City, playing table tennis with them, and Ronnie Wood wearing my jacket live on stage and coming out playing and he's wearing my jacket, Get It Back, and they've all signed it for me. So it's not really embarrassing moments, just moments of gratitude really, where I've met my heroes. I was lucky enough to sing recently for Muhammad Ali before he passed, and so it's never ending, you know. Like, but I've got good mates, like people that I love and I'm happy for, because I've seen him grow. Like people like Jason Statham came to my show 3 times and came with his dad. I mean, that's a big compliment when people that you love and admire come to your show, you know. So it's just not really embarrassing, but it's really moments of like, wow, you know, how lucky am I where this part of your body, you know, your voice, where the voice takes you, you know.
Absolutely. Lovely. Great question.
So my best mates, Bev and Lou, who they've always given me the nickname, their little Yorkie Pud. I call them my little Lancashire hot pots.
I can see why.
Yeah. Have you had a Yorkshire pudding wrap?
Oh
my God.
Have you ever had a Yorkie pudding wrap?
I'm slightly aroused right now.
That's what I really am.
I'm slightly aroused. I mean, one of my favourite things in the world is the Yorkshire pudding. So I didn't know of this invention called a Yorkshire pudding wrap. And if there is one, then we were going to have dinner tonight. But I think we got. I mean, it's one of my favourite things in the world. Not many people can make it, but. You know,
it's literally next door.
Okay, well, I guess we're all.
I had one before I came here.
Can we get Matt a Yorkie pudding wrap?
No, I'm gonna go. I want to have the experience. I want to go next door and
order it.
Yeah.
We got Wayne mouthing outside. We got.
It's going
no window. All right, so Yorkie pudding wrap. So you have, it's one of your favourite things, Yorkshire puddings.
Yeah, without question. I mean, it's second to only 1 or 2 things I can't mention.
And you're in Yorkshire.
Yeah, and thanks for the observation.
Elizabeth, next question.
Okay, so I want to know what your guilty pleasure is.
Ooh.
My guilty pleasure is chocolate. It will always be chocolate. Toblerone. I mean, I have to really meet my sister. My nemesis, like Toblerone and fruit and nut. I love chocolate. And morning sex. Yeah.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah.
I must try a bit.
I think, yeah, it's a guilty pleasure, yeah.
And your second question, please.
My other half did the unthinkable at Christmas, and he ordered me some perfume online, and he had no idea what it smelled like. So he went for the description, you know, sensual notes of this, that and other. Christmas Day arrived. I was made up with cold, so I couldn't smell anything. My sense of smell had gone for about 3 days. He went to the gym, came back, and he took one look at me and he went, "What's the matter?" He says, you've smelt the perfume, haven't you? And I went, "Yes." I said, "It smells like old lady." Seriously. So my question, Matt, is, do you have any sort of like plans of doing your own like perfume for ladies? Because you always smell so good.
Well, I appreciate the compliment, but before I need to address your story, and I think, you know, there are certain parts of your body that are okay if they smell like an old lady. You know what I mean? It's like, I think it's okay. I mean, you got to look on the bright side of life. You've got to, you know, look at the optimistic side of what that is. I mean, it could smell of cheese and onion, you know. So. But it's you know. I am actually, one of my dreams is to actually do my fragrance, and I'm back in the UK from America after 25 years, and to be honest with you, fashion, clothing, I don't think it should be as expensive as it is, and for me to be able to do a line of clothing, lifestyle brand, candles, fragrance, just where I get a feeling of you guys trust me, where I just say, look, this is really cool, and just it might be slightly less in fabric, you know, Italian fabric, maybe not, but certainly in style, and something where the fellas and ladies can really get into. That's definitely one of my dreams, is the lifestyle brand, and that's one of the reasons I'm back, is just, and now I can actually focus on those things. But you know, I've recently changed my fragrance a little bit, but I'm in love with fragrance, and the process of building a fragrance is a really incredible thing. There's a shop in London called Flores, and it's one of the oldest perfumery. I think it's the oldest perfumery in London, and Edward, who owns it, he actually made a perfume for the Queen. And,
wow!
So the rumours are that they've got a little tunnel underneath their shop that goes to Buckingham Palace. So yeah, I'm deeply interested in fragrances.
The perfume that he bought me was a I mean, I love anything vintage and old-fashioned, 1920s. He bought me, it was made in the 1920s. It's called Shalimar by Galan. Okay. But it smells like old lady talc.
Okay.
That was my first
well,
perfume.
I'll still stay tuned. There's a time and a place for old lady talc, that's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Speaking of America, what was it like living over there, and what's the comparison? You know, truthfully, how do you feel that comparison?
I think there's pros and cons. I mean, I think the Americans get a really hard time saying it's fake and LA's fake and all that. That's absolutely not the case. I think success is a really, really good word in America, and success is encouraged, no matter what walk of life you come from, whatever your dreams are. People will invariably in America, well, let's try it, man. Let's go for it. You know, it's not a bad idea. Let's go for it. You know, it's like, and that's a much better thing. Or if you've got a nice car and you pull up next to a fellow, who will say, "Hey, man, I love that car. What is it, man?" And you just be like, it's more aspirational, and I think. Sometimes in the UK it can be a little jealousy culture, and you know, so my mission of optimism and going around the country like I am and encouraging people, if your neighbour buys a nice new car, go and knock on their door and say, "I love your motor," you know. So I think it's but then being here and having that familiar side of the British public, the way they treat me, I feel like a member of the family. I've lost so much and lost people that I love, as you know. You know, to be honest with you, the selfies and the conversations, and I've been to spending a couple of shops in York, and everyone's really, they're like, "We're honoured to have you in the shop," and we have a conversation. And I'm so grateful for the way I am treated in this country and the familiarity of my journey. I was 17 years old when I started in the public eye, and I've grown up and up into a man that's in front of the British public, and it's something you have to learn to navigate. And I'm proud that I've never had a drug, never had a cigarette. I take care of myself, and I'm proud I've lived a certain way. I feel very observed, not just literally, but metaphorically. You know, I feel observed by the people I've lost that are in heaven, and I want to make the people here with us now, like, I want to make them proud. I'm proud of them, and I want that to continue to my dying day. I want to hopefully make people proud and elevate their mood and transport them into a place where they can believe that anything is possible. Anyone out watching now or listening now, it's never too late to just go, you know what? You know, I'm going to just go and do what I want to do, and just encourage people. It's a better way to live.
A round of applause for that one. What a great speech. Fantastic. Listen, we've got a wonderful guitar over here. What is it? What is the guitar?
I meant the guitarist was one.
No. Forget you behind it. Wow. It looks stupendous.
Play guitar. You noticed the guitar?
No. It was, well, my daughter plays guitar. She plays violin as well, and I know a nice little bit of craftsmanship. You know, I want to see one.
Takamuni.
It looks very, very nice, and it's got a gorgeous sound. So what we'd like to do right now is say thank you very much indeed to our Brossettes. Give a round of applause for the Brossettes. And
let me address it. So let me ask you.
Yeah, go on then. Let's get the other way.
Do you still consider yourself Brossettes, or do you consider yourself? What is it? Because we've been. I've had a 27-year career outside of that band, and I'm not saying I'm so proud of being in Bros, and I still want to do Bros gigs. But is that what it is? Is it Brossette? Is it Gossy Girl? Is it MGA? Is it what is it?
For me, it's everything. It's
everything.
Brossette, it's Goss, it's everything.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It's been from.
Because I think sometimes the Brossette is a beauty. I mean, I love the fact there is a immediacy about that word, but I think I feel like it's so much more of a journey than just a period. That, I mean, it was a wonderful period, but you guys have been abroad with me. We've been on a journey, and it's much more than music. It's kind of a friendship, kind of a journey, hopefully inspirational kind of a thing. I'm glad you said it's more than that.
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
And it's a family.
Yeah.
You know, I can see a lot of people outside that I know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like when you're in London, I can walk down the street and like see so many people that I know.
Yeah.
I travel all around with my friends, and I've even met friends in Cyprus.
Right.
You know, we've arranged to meet. We've both been on holiday at different parts of Cyprus, and we've hooked up because of, you know, through you.
Thank you. And I think that's why I asked the question, because I feel so many times there's this, you know, it compartmentalises you into a little nook in history where it's so much broader than that, because the MGA also actually, so I don't know if you know, is the Matt Goss Army, but it's people that help other people, that get down to gigs, get down to shows, and just in life there's this kind of network of help and this kind of like-minded, kind-hearted people that would help each other. Even hashtag MGA online, I've seen people answer questions and help people because of that. So it's good for people out there to know that it's a kind of it's a bigger universe than people think. You know, it's not just, you know, ripped jeans and Doc Martens. I mean, these are very sophisticated people too.
We're nanas now.
Founding member. Who's the founding member of that? Is it you?
Yeah, I mean, it was during. There's been times when I just want to create a network that was bigger than myself. Do you know what I mean? Just so that they can identify with their friends, and it's just kind of it's kind of like the bat. It's like the bat signal. It just goes up.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great way to explain it as well, and I love that, and hopefully I could be part of the MGA.
You are part of the MGA.
Thank you very much indeed. That's great. It's such an honour. It really is.
The OMGs. Just made that up. So I'm just going to sing. As you can see, it's pretty makeshift. I like that this room is like the Goldfish Bar, very makeshift. Oh, yeah. I didn't know this was your office, sir. You've definitely surprised me, but I like it. It's my first #1 record. I'm proud of contributing to this as a songwriter, and also it's just one of those songs that kind of deconstructed well into not just a pop record, but into a bluesy kind of version with a guitar.
I watch you crumble like a very old wall, yeah. I see you stranded. You took me for a fool. I'll have my revenge, ooh, yeah. 'Cause I owe you nothing at all. I owe you nothing at all. I owe you nothing at all. Oh, nothing at all. I watch you suffer with no feelings at all. Oh, I see you desperate. You won't hear my call. And he who laughs last, ooh, yeah, owes you sweet nothing at all. I owe you nothing at all. I owe you nothing at all. Yeah. 'Cause I owe you nothing, baby, nothing at all. I owe you nothing at all. Oh, oh, nothing at all. Oh, oh Lord, oh.
Hey! I must admit, I was waiting for the but it never came.
That's probably why you were never a rock star.
Do we have another one as well?
We can do a mellow vibe. This is what my granddad used to sing this to me, and it was a song by Nat King Cole, and just a beautiful song. And it was a simple piece of philosophy. It's called Nature Boy.
Oh.
There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. They say he wandered very far, over land and sea. A little shy, but sad of eyes, but very wise was he. And then one day, that magic day, he passed my way. He spoke of many things, fools and kings. This he said to me: the greatest thing that you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. The greatest thing that you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return.
Give it up for Goss. Woohoo! Fantastic stuff. Thank you so much indeed. We love this because this is what you get to do.
I love it. Let's do the Beautiful Unknown before I go, because I like it.
Oh, would you?
Yeah, let's do the Beautiful Unknown.
You see, that was unprovoked.
Yeah.
Unprovoked.
I like this song because I wrote this song actually about the removal of fear, you know, and we don't often think the unknown is a beautiful thing. We have to face forward and believe that next week, next month, and next year is going to be a great place. And I love this song, the way that deconstructs into just this form. So anyway, this is called The Beautiful Unknown. I've been walking down Broadway, thinking about making new memories, and everything in me is falling into pavement cracks. This stranger's hand that I'm holding, I can't explain the connection. All I know, it feels like home. I can carry the weight of the world on my shoulders, but my heart has no protection. The silence that we're sharing feels like perfection. So if you listen, you can feel it, feel my heartbeat in your hand. But this joy feels good in such a cynical man. So raise a glass to the beautiful unknown. Be prepared to undress your soul. We just met, but we're old friends. That's how life is and how it should end. I don't
disrespect, but I did not hear one word you said. Sitting at the bar, looking in your eyes, your heart is in my head. If only you knew all the plans I've been making. I don't think you call me crazy, I'd kiss you right where you stand. The lights go on, it's not polite. Outside this bar, it's getting bright. I'm gonna walk you home, but I don't wanna let you go. Courage from the Dutch, but not too much. Yeah, we shared some stories. I'm letting go of everything that hurt me before. So raise a glass to the beautiful unknown. Be prepared to undress your soul. We just met, but we're old friends. That's how life is and how it should end. Raise a glass to the beautiful unknown. Be prepared to undress your soul. We just met, but we're old friends. And that's how life is and how it should end. And that's how life is and how it should end. And that's how life is and how it should end.
Yeah! Thank you so much indeed. Thank you to the crowds outside. Thank you to our MGA. And thanks to the main guy, Matt Goss.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you.